So, do you have to replace the cloth every time you move a pool table? Well, no, you don't. Okay, end of video. That's it. Go home. No, just kidding. There's quite a bit left in this video. I'll actually tell some of my customers, to my own detriment, that, because they'll ask me, oh, well, I thought I had to replace my cloth every time I moved it. You mean that's not the case? No, it's not. We can pretty much reuse your cloth. A lot of people think that just because a table is a glue down, that the cloth is glue down, that you have to replace the cloth. Well, again, not necessarily. Sometimes now, when the cloth is glued down to the table, it does present some different challenges with getting the cloth back up without ripping it. And needless to say, if you do rip the cloth when you go to pull it off, yeah, you got to replace it, okay? But if you don't rip the cloth, then why not reuse it? Well, I'm going to show you in this video. This isn't really going to be a step-by-step, but you'll be able to see what I'm doing. And I don't know, I'm not going to do a voiceover on this one. I think I'm just going to play some music and let you guys watch what I'm doing.
Don't stop. 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 Don't. Don't stop. stop.
All right, so there you go. That's how it's done. Okay. Now we reused that cloth when we pulled the cloth off of that table. You saw I was very careful that, especially with those fingers, I call them fingers, the tabs, when you cut your release cuts in the corners and side pockets, they're always going to be tucked up underneath the table and glued in. Sometimes you'll even have some duct tape that is, stuck up there. But a lot of times, most of the time, technicians are going to use the 3M 77 glue. Now, am I recommending that? No way. No, I don't like 3M 77 glue. And why? Because it comes out like hairspray. There's this big cloud that comes out. I mean, imagine taking an aerosol can of spray paint or hairspray, and you go to spray it. You get this cloud that just comes out. Well, I actually use this. This is the 3M High Strength 90. Okay, 3M High Strength 90. Fantastic stuff. How is this different than the 77? Well, number one, it's a little bit more viscous. So it's got a little bit more body to it. It's a little thicker. And when it comes out, it's not this big cloud. This comes out more like a spray gun. They've actually modified the nozzle on here so that instead of coming out like a cloud, what it does is it comes out in a straight line, straight, but it fans out. So you get this straight line fan. Like if you were to take it and put it on its side, it would be like a wall of glue that's coming out. So I'll give you a couple of tips when using this. And I used to use the 3M Foam Fast 74. And if you can get your hands on Foam Fast 74, they still make it. It's even better than this. It's a little bit higher strength. And I used that for years. They went up on their price. It's like $35 a can now for the 74. This stuff you can pick up at Home Depot, or I'll leave the Amazon link down below. You can pick this stuff up for about anywhere between $10 and $15 a can. And this is a 17.6 ounce can, big can. All right, a couple of tips when using this stuff. Number one, make absolutely certain that the nozzle on here is cleared. So what you'll do, and this is just a scrap piece of sandpaper that I have, what you'll do is away from the table, preferably over a garbage can or something like that. You take a scrap piece of paper and you just spray a little bit, okay? If the nozzle happens to be clogged, you're going to get streams of glue, and they can shoot almost straight up. And I've had it happen to me before where, I'm not thinking, just go up to the table and you start trying to spray with a used can, and it will go straight up and over and land right on top of the cloth. Okay, so what you want to do is, preferably over a garbage can, you're going to take a scrap piece of paper and you're just going to spray. Make sure that your fan pattern on here is coming out properly. You don't have any jets of glue spraying off, all over the place. Okay, so that's number one. The number two reason why you want to do that is because I've actually had times before where the nozzle on here will get stuck in the down position, and then you got glue just going everywhere and you can't stop it. Only thing you can do at that point is throw it in the garbage can immediately. And if you do it over a garbage can, you don't get a mess everywhere. You get a mess inside the garbage bag, not everywhere else, okay? Now, I mentioned just a second ago that sometimes, especially if the nozzle's not clear, and you can clean this off, and every once in a while you'll get a little bit of something that still is clogged inside that port, and you'll get a jet of glue that just goes some crazy direction, and it'll land on top of your cloth. What do you do in that situation? Is the cloth ruined? Nope, not by a long shot. Here's what you do. You don't do anything. No, seriously, you don't do anything. Leave the glue. You'll have, a squiggly line of glue that lands right on top of the cloth. Leave it alone. Just leave it alone. Let it sit there for about 10 minutes. Go off, go do some other portion of the table, okay? And leave that spot of glue just right where it is. This stuff acts like a contact cement, okay? And it is a bit heavier and it is a bit more viscous than the 77, but it's still light enough that when that oddball stream happens to fly out and hit the table, it's just going to lay right on top of the fibers. So if you leave it there, it's going to set up. It's going to get, harder as some of the solvents in here evaporate away. It's going to get harder. It's going to dry out a bit, but it's also going to get more tacky. Now, again, it's just laying on the ever so top fibers of the cloth. So when you leave it there for about 10 minutes, what you want to do is you want to come back, and forgive me, I'm going to reach up here. You come back and you grab this stuff, duct tape, ordinary everyday duct tape, and you peel off a bit of duct tape. Make sure you get enough to cover most of the stream, if not all of it, okay? And you take the sticky side of it, and you just lay it right on top of the cloth, okay? And then lightly run your finger over where that glue is, very lightly. You don't want to mash that glue down into the cloth. If you do that, now game over, okay? Now you got cloth or you got glue that is embedded into the cloth. All you want to do is lightly rub that tape and then peel it back away. And what will happen is the glue will stick to the glue on the tape, make a better bind to the tape because you got glue here and you got glue there, and they're going to stick to each other better than the glue will stick to the cloth. So that's a pro tip for you. Now, if you're using that god-awful, and I'm not saying it doesn't have its place, but if you're using that god-awful 3M77, you're going to get a mist of glue going everywhere. Now, yeah, predominantly it's going to go where you spray it, but you've got overspray that's going to go everywhere else. And, quite frankly, I've used it before in a pinch, and you go to use it, and then at the end of the job, you go to move your arm, and it's actually, the glue is actually glued your arm hairs together. And that's, your arm's way back here, and you're spraying way out here, but that overspray is actually making it all the way back here. So it's falling all over the table. So don't use the 77. Use the 90, okay? Use this 90. And if you can get your hands on it, use the 74. All right. The next video is actually going to be, that I should get it up this weekend. It's going to be part 2 of the outdoor pool table, which is giving me fits. I have issue with the manufacturer of that pool table. I still don't know who it was that manufactured it, but it's a table that is trying my patience, and you guys get to take the ride with me on the ride along for a terrible table. So we've got that, and the last thing I wanted to bring up is Patreon. A lot of the information, I've said this before, a lot of the information that I'm giving you guys is it's worth quite a bit. This is very, very, very valuable information, especially if you're wanting to do this yourself. I'm quite frankly, I'm telling you how to save yourself hundreds, if not thousands of dollars by doing this kind of work yourself. And, I realize that a lot of people are just, getting onto my channel and watching the video and gleaning what they can from it and then getting the job done. But there are some people that really, really enjoy just watching craftsmen do their thing. And, I do make a little bit of money off of YouTube for making these videos, but I mean, it's a very little bit of money. I don't have a big subscriber base here, so, and my videos still don't get a ton load of views, although they are gaining popularity. My videos don't get a ton load of views, so, I don't make very much at all off of YouTube. I make exponentially less off of Amazon links to products that, to the products that I use. that I give to you guys. So every little bit helps, and I would really, really appreciate it if you guys would, navigate your way over to Patreon and become a patron of this channel. I'll leave the link down below, and that's about it. We'll see you on the next video, and as always, thank you for watching, and like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all take care.